was a ruthless human general. The Krillian Empire had made many mistakes in their 3,000-year reign across the Andromeda sector, but taking Melissa and Daniel Chen would prove to be their most catastrophic. The twins were 16 when the sleek, obsidian warships descended upon New Terra Colony. The Krillians, towering insectoid beings with chitinous armor and compound eyes that gleamed like oil slicks, had come for resources and labor. They took what they wanted, always had, always would. The galaxy had learned to bow before their might. Daniel was in the agricultural dome when the raiders broke through. Melissa had been studying quantum mechanics in their family's HEB unit. Neither had time to react before neural dampeners rendered them unconscious. When they woke, they were in a holding cell aboard the Sovereign's Mandate, the flagship of warlords Zarthan humans. Zarthan clicked through his translator, mandibles spreading in what passed for a Krillian smile. Such soft creatures. You'll fetch a good price in the labor markets of Kepler 9. What Zarthan didn't know, what his intelligence officers had catastrophically failed to discover, was that these weren't ordinary colonist children. Their mother was General Sarah Chen, the Reaper of the Rim, humanity's most decorated and ruthless military commander, the woman who had single-handedly turned the tide. In the Proxima Wars, the strategist whose tactics were studied across human space with equal parts admiration and horror, and right now, she was 3 systems away, inspecting forward operating bases. The message reached her 12 hours after the abduction. A routine colonial census had noted 2 missing citizens. Then the surveillance footage had been reviewed. Then the truth became clear. The bridge of the UCSN Retribution fell silent as General Chen watched the recording. Her face remained perfectly still, carved from ice. Only those who knew her well noticed the microscopic twitch in her left eye, the way her knuckles whitened against the railing. "Captain Morrison," she said, her voice quiet enough that every officer strained to hear. "Plot a course to the last known position of Krillian vessels in this sector." "General, with respect, we'd need authorization from High Command." To Chen turned, and Morrison saw something in her eyes that made his blood freeze. It wasn't rage. Rage was hot, messy, emotional. This was absolute zero given human form. "I wasn't asking." The Retribution was a Titan-class warship, humanity's answer to the Krillian dreadnoughts. Its fusion drives could accelerate to 0.3 light speed. Its weapons could crack planets. And now it moved with singular purpose, trailing 3 destroyer escorts that Chen had persuaded to join her unauthorized mission. Meanwhile, aboard the Sovereign's Mandate, Melissa and Daniel were proving to be problematic prisoners. "I said scrub the deck," the Krillian overseer hissed, prodding Daniel with an electro-pike. Daniel looked up from where he'd been pretending to work, his expression almost bored. "You know, according to the galactic conventions of warfare, captured miners must be." The pike struck him, and he crumpled. Melissa lunged forward, but magnetic restraints snapped tight, holding her back. "Your conventions mean nothing," the overseer clicked. "The strong rule. You are weak." Melissa smiled then, and something about that smile made the overseer's antennae twitch nervously. "My mother taught us something," she said softly. "She said the strong mistake cruelty for strength, and they always underestimate humans. Your mother, some colonial farmer, something like that." The Retribution found them 18 hours later. Chen had followed the radiation signature of Krillian drives, cross-referenced it with trading post reports, and employed probability algorithms she'd developed hunting pirates in the outer reaches. When her sensors locked onto the Sovereign's Mandate, she gave her first order: disable their engines. Precision strike. I want them drifting, not destroyed. "General, they're hailing us. They're threatening to execute prisoners if they won't." Chen's voice carried absolute certainty. "Warlord Zarthan is a pragmatist. He'll want to negotiate. He'll think he has leverage." Her smile was a predator's grin. "He's wrong." The Retribution's heavy railgun spoke once. Tungsten projectiles traveling at relativistic speeds sheared through the Krillian warship's drive section with surgical precision. The massive vessel shuddered, atmosphere venting from a dozen hull breaches. Emergency systems screaming. Zarthan's face appeared on the viewscreen, compound eyes wide with shock. "This is an act of war. We have prisoners, human children." "If you have my children," Chen interrupted, her voice conversational. "Let me explain your situation, Warlord. In 17 minutes, my Marines will breach your ship. They've been given very specific orders. Find my children. Everyone else is optional. You cannot. The Empire will. The Empire's 43 light years away. You're here now with me." Chen leaned forward. "I've reviewed your tactical profiles. You've raided 17 colonies, taken over 4,000 prisoners. You're a bully who's never faced real resistance." Her eyes glittered. "I've fought things that would make you wet your carapace. I've held the line against hive fleets. I've burned pirate kingdoms to ash. And you took my children." The Krillian warlord's mandibles trembled. He'd heard of human generals, their reputation for savagery, but the Empire had always dismissed it as propaganda. Now, staring at Sarah Chen, he understood the truth too late. "Return them, and I'll let your crew live." Refute. She smiled. "Well, there's a reason they call me the Reaper." 15 minutes later, Melissa and Daniel walked through the docking tunnel into their mother's arms. Behind them, the Sovereign's mandate drifted powerless, its crew flooding the escape pods in panic. Sarah Chen held her children tight, and for just a moment, the ruthless general disappeared, replaced by a mother who'd feared the worst. Then she straightened, her mask sliding back into place. "Kids, head to medical for checkups. We'll talk at home." As they left, Captain Morrison approached carefully. "General, High Command is demanding explanations. Unauthorized military action, violations of tell them," Chen said calmly, "that the Krillian Empire just learned an important lesson." She watched the alien warship growing smaller in the view. "You can raid human colonies. You can challenge our fleets. But you never, ever threaten a human's family." The message spread across the galaxy within days. The Krillian Empire, in a shocking reversal, issued a formal apology and reparations to New Terra Colony. Warlord Zarthon was quietly reassigned to border patrol duty in an unimportant sector, and every species that heard the story learned the same lesson. Humanity might negotiate, might compromise, might even retreat, but threaten their children. Then you'd meet the monsters humanity kept chained behind civilization's walls. The monsters like Sarah Chen,